YouTube, I'm Nate, this is Rushing Around, and today I wanted to give an update on the Volvo V70 that I rescued last year in October. So this is future Nate, and I realized while filming this video that I actually hadn't included any photos from when I received the V70. So without further ado, here are some photos of it. Being that, quite simply, I haven't had time to work on it. I'm coming off of a base of having no knowledge of how to work on cars, although I feel that I am fairly knowledgeable about cars. I don't know how to work on them. So coming off of a zero base in terms of knowledge there, and not really having time to tinker around, I just haven't had the time to work on the V70. I did do an initial inspection where I found that the problem does indeed seem to be electrical, as the previous owner mentioned. The battery had been removed from the boot, under the boot floor partition where it would normally sit, and the cables to the battery were cut and left somewhere in the interior around the rear seats of the V70. So naturally, there would have been a lot of work to do to diagnose it, and there were also a couple of parts missing. The spark plugs are missing from the engine, which just gives me the impression that water has gotten into the engine at some point, as well as some mold that I saw when looking for the spark plugs. And it was never going to be a quick project. It absolutely feels like a cop-out saying that I haven't had the time, because we make time for the things that matter at the end of the day, but ultimately I think this was just too great a project to take on from the get-go. But secondly, the issue is in terms of ownership. I have been reaching out to the previous owner as well as his employee, I believe, who dropped the car off with me back in October last year, about sorting out the papers and ownership of the V70. And I heard back from them a few times, and then a couple of months ago, nothing. I've been trying to contact them consistently since then, but I don't know what's happened to either of them. I don't know what the situation is, but I haven't been able to reach either of them. And for me, I wasn't willing to spend money on, or time as well, working on something that I don't actually own, that isn't in my name. And so the Volvo has sat for the past 9 months, unfortunately. It was something that I really did want to work out. It's just unfortunate that it didn't. But in saying that, I understood that the project was too big for me. I'm not afraid to admit failure on that part, biting off more than I can chew anyway. And so there won't be any further updates on the V70. I need to try and find out how to possibly scrap the vehicle, being that it isn't in my name. I don't know if I can actually do that. That is something that I will have to look into. I definitely can't sell it without the papers. It's not something I'm even willing to try. But the point is that I have to get rid of it and change up the format of how I'm going to do things slightly. I had every intent of making weekly videos with the V70, updating on diagnosing the full extent of the problem and then fixing it. That obviously didn't come to be for the reasons that I've already mentioned, but I am working on something exciting, which I'm not going to mention too much about at the moment. And I also want to do tech reviews on this channel. I love tech. I always have since I was a little boy. And so I am going to be filming a review on what I believe is the cheapest smartwatch that one could buy in South Africa that has GPS built into the watch itself, rather than piggybacking off of the GPS on your phone. So I'm going to be filming that review as well. That will come out, I don't want to commit, but in a couple of weeks. I will obviously just need time to film and edit. I'm going to be doing all of that by myself, which is also something that's new to me, so taking the time to learn those skills. And I will also be filming a review of a smart ring. No, not the Samsung Galaxy ring, but a different smart ring that comes from the same supplier. Shout out to SunSky, that I bought the smartwatch from. I will say they have been a source of a lot of things that I've bought in the past, because, well, the prices are good, being a Chinese wholesaler, and they have a range of products that we just simply don't get in South Africa, for whatever reason. For example, the phone that I'm recording is on, it's the Xiaomi Redmi K60 Ultra. It is technically a China exclusive phone, however, I've been running it since December with no problems at all. In fact, it's an awesome phone. I won't get too much into detail about that now, but suffice to say, I will have some tech reviews coming up on the channel as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody thinks. So I would appreciate comments, likes, subscriptions. If you feel up to that, if you'd like to see more of my content, that would be greatly appreciated. It would help me greatly. And yeah, that's it really. I just wanted to give an update on the V70 and explain why there hasn't been any content coming from my side on it. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this update. Hope everybody watching this has a great day, and yeah, see you in the next one.